Now on 7. A family's outrage at a man accused of beating a child to death. The boy's father charged with murder.
2 elderly drivers involved in a dangerous crash. Now calls to get those seniors retested rev up.
Knowing that you have the power and the obligation to protect the people, to prevent these unnecessary deaths.
New details. The King of Pop had a will, but may not have fathered his children. This as funeral plans at the Neverland Ranch take shape.
Mike Lowell's bad hip sends the sock star to the DL. What lies ahead for the ailing slugger?
A new push to bring posh dining to one of America's oldest city parks.
Traffic tickets can really cost you, but not every community is cashing in. We found where you're least likely to get a ticket.
7 uncovers. It's all tonight from the night team.
7 News at 10 starts now.
This is 7 News at 10.
A weather alert first at 10. Thanks for joining us this evening. Strong storms are moving through parts of the state.
Chief Meteorologist Pete Bouchard is here with the details. Pete?
They're cutting a little close to home now. We've been watching them out through Pittsfield and Adams and North Adams up into Vermont, but a couple of these have frayed from the pack. One in particular is now over parts of Worcester County. Let's zero in now. Winchendon, Gardner, Athol. This is intense rain here. This storm is moving northeast at about 25 miles an hour. We do have a warning out for it going up into southern New Hampshire for another 15 minutes or so, although this thing will probably be in New Hampshire in another 15 minutes and maybe extended to Jaffrey and Rindge and Greenville. Now, this is a possibility of putting down some strong gusty winds and some small hail, but you could see all this red here is the intense rain with this storm. It is really putting down some water all the way out through Northfield and up into Winchester, and it looks like this will continue in these areas through the night. Staying out of most of eastern Massachusetts, though. We'll go through the forecast and look for the brighter days ahead in a minute.
Also breaking news involving details of Michael Jackson's will. Sources say his mother will get custody of his children. That source also discusses the pop star's assets and who will be the executor of his estate.
And that's not all. Krista Delkamp is here with details.
You know, his family questioned whether it even existed, but yes, Jackson did have a will. It was drawn up in 2002, and here are some of the highlights. He gives custody of his 3 children to his mom, Catherine. Also, he leaves all of his assets in a trust fund. He names his longtime lawyer and a family friend as executors, and word of a will wasn't the only revelation today. Michael Jackson's final months may have been spent battling insomnia. A nutritionist working with the singer said Jackson, desperate for sleep, begged her for a powerful sedative. She says a staffer's frantic call 4 days before his death convinced her that someone else had provided a drug that she had refused. Nearly a week after his death,
I had to come here for me to be able to heal.
Fans continue memorializing the pop singer outside the Jackson family home. At his Neverland Ranch, a public memorial and a private funeral are both in the works, with a motorcade expected to make the 130-mile trek from L.A. to Jackson's one-time retreat.
I think it's very important to be able to pay tribute to Michael Jackson here at the Neverland Ranch, since this place was so important to him.
Amid plans to say goodbye, new details emerge about the singer as a father. The celebrity website TMZ reports that Jackson and his former wife, Debbie Rowe, have no biological link to their 2 children, 12-year-old Prince Michael and 11-year-old Paris Michael. The site reports that Rowe was the surrogate for in vitro fertilization, but that neither she nor Jackson were the donors. Today at Harlem's Apollo Theater, a look back at where it all started for the Jackson 5. Fans lined up to pay homage to the King of Pop.
I'm here in honor of a legend.
And observe a moment of silence. And while plans are in the works for fans to pay their respects at Neverland, no word yet on whether Jackson will actually be buried there. In the newsroom tonight, I'm Krista Delkamp, 7 News Night Team.